Hello there, David Risley here with a quick blog evaluation for Russ over at worldhealthhub.com. And, for anybody who's been watching my prior evaluations, this is just going to be a quick once over of some things that stand out to me that you might want to pay attention to. And that'll be about that. All right, so here we are, worldhealthhub.com. First thing that stands out to me is your logo. While it looks nice, it doesn't really mesh with your domain because your domain is World Health Hub and your logo says Body Blog. If I would actually recommend that you try to have a logo and a brand which matches your domain name for branding purposes. That way you can spread the word via word of mouth and various other ways like that. And when as your brand recognition increases, you're not going to have this disconnect there. See, I had the same problem with my tech site at pcmech.com, pcmech.com. It used to be called PC Mechanic, but it was a disconnect there between the domain and the name of the site. So eventually, this is probably 3+ years ago, I actually decided I'm just going to stop calling the thing PC Mechanic, and I just simply refer to the site now as PC Mech. That way, as that brand gets recognized by certain people, there's not a disconnect with the domain. So I would definitely pay attention to that. Your byline is good. It definitely says what the site is about. You might want to make it a little bigger, a little bit more noticeable. If you're going to redesign your logo, that might be a good opportunity to build a more formatted tagline in there that kind of looks nice. Let's see here. Looking at your opt-in on the sidebar, get your free copy today, blueprint. All right, so a couple recommendations here. First of all, is instead of saying get your free copy today, blah blah blah, I think you should spell out the benefit with some type of a headline, because all I see here is this cover. This is blueprint. I see a couple of blue bodies on it, and I can barely read this title. Let's see, the fast and easy way to better health without drugs or diets. All right, so cool, that's fine. I like that title. The thing is, you need to spell it out because I can barely see that, and this just seems kind of spammy. They get your free copy today unless there's a clear benefit there. So I would rephrase that. The second part is that your opt-in is barely noticeable. This area right here, I can drag it around. It looks to me like a banner ad, and you got this horizontal line in here, and then you've got an opt-in, which looks to me like it's extremely plain Jane. The opt-in fields barely even stand out because it's an extremely pale gray border on top of this white, and it's hard to tell they're even there. And also, it looks to me like the opt-in form is completely separate from this, which looks like a banner ad. So what I would do would be to get rid of this line in between. I would change the colors of this opt-in form that match better with whatever changes you make to this graphical call to action for your opt-in, and make it so that it stands out visually. Right now, your opt-in form very much does not stand out. It's really actually difficult to see. The other thing that stands out on your homepage is this big black box. I understand it's a feature post or your latest post or something like that, but it looks really out of place here. There's no image. So unless usually there would be an image here or something to that effect to make this look like an actual feature post, I would just get rid of this black box and just go right into your recent posts and your popular posts, because the way you have recent and popular and this stuff listed is actually pretty nice. I just think that black box at the top kind of doesn't stand out. Down here at the bottom, sign up for the WWD list. Again, world. What does that stand for? I have no idea what WWD stands for. You got a lot of winter wellness diet, probably. Okay, that's fine. But you see how you've got a lot of different conflicting brand problems going on here, and not only that, I don't know if this list, which again doesn't stand out very well at all, I don't know if it has anything to do with this list up here. I mean, it's just as a funnel, it looks like I'm being pulled in a lot of different directions, and whereas what you should be doing is funneling everybody into a single list and have it be very clear that that's what you want them to do, and then once they're on the list, you can do whatever you want with them. Let's see. Another thing is your search box. Once again, kind of like your opt-in form, it's barely even noticeable. Um, Exclusive body blog series. Let's see. All right, well that's all cool. Let me click on about. All right, cool. So here's another quick note for you, Russ. Your about page is pretty long. Nothing necessarily wrong with that. However, you might want to check out my about page at davidrisley.com, and you'll see how I begin it with some bullet points, which are basically designed to spell out why somebody might want to read my blog right at the very beginning, and it's easily scannable. That is something that you might want to pay attention to with your own about page, because if I click into your about page here, and I'm brand new to your site, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to read your site or not, I'm faced with this big, long block of text that, quite frankly, I'm too lazy to read. And even though that might sound funny, you're going to find that a lot of your readers are that way. The other thing, too, is you start out by saying, "Hi, my name is Russ. Sorry, I can't pronounce your last name there. Professional beach volleyball player, blah, 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 blah." That's all great. However, keep in mind that people are not here because they're interested in you. They're interested in what you can offer them. So again, I would check out those body points, your bullet points like I just talked about. And the other thing I would do would be to rewrite this in terms of a what's in it for me question when somebody's reading your about page. They don't really care about you. They care about what you can give them. So keep that perspective in mind when you write your about page. Let's see. All right, contact. Just as a general note, my comments on your opt-in form, it looks like they're global. It looks like your style sheet for this blog just has really, really light borders on all your form input fields. So definitely darken that because they're just all too light. On my screen here, it's really hard to make out that there's actually a form input button there. And your send button, it's like, God, it's so easy not to see that. Really easy not to see that. So let's go back to your blog real quick, and let me just check out one of your posts, see what they look like. Okay, well, a couple things here. One is that I don't know if this is just because I'm using Chrome as my browser or what, but it looks like your entire blog post here is bolded. So don't do that. I would unbold that. The other thing I would do would be to get rid of these social media links and either put them at the top or the bottom of your post, because right now you've got it set up as taking up this whole column, and what it does is it squishes your blog post up to the side. So I would just not have it take up an entire column. And that way you allow the width of your actual post to be a little bigger. The other thing you might want to do is increase the size of your font so that it's easier for some people to read. I don't have a difficult time reading it, but some might, especially if you remove the bold, which I do recommend that you do. You might want to increase the font size of your headline so that it stands out. You want, just think from a marketing standpoint, because people come here, they want to know what's in it for me. So the first thing is a compelling headline. By the way, this is not a compelling headline, but you may know that. The purpose of the headline is to get them to really want to read your post, typically because you're spiking their curiosity or something like that. So always think about that when you're doing your headlines. Excuse me. All right. Check out your store and see what you got here. Not much. All right, as a general note, I would not put coming soon links in here. If you don't have anything on one of these links, then get rid of the link. Just don't send people into a dead end. That's annoying. Yeah, it looks like almost all of your text is bolded for some reason. I'm not sure why you're doing that. Okay, so Russ, I could go on and on here, but I mean, your site looks pretty good. I think that you just need to pay attention to those things that I mentioned in the video so far. And the other thing is just on a general basis, pay attention to what, when somebody comes to your blog, their eyes are gonna gravitate towards something, and your job from a design perspective is that you funnel their eyes and their attention into what you want them to pay attention to. Now, typically, they're gonna come into the site in order to read one of your posts that are probably going to pop up in search or on social or something like that. You let them read the post, obviously. You want that to be very well presented, but then you want to funnel them into your opt-in. And you've got a good, nice opt-in here, aside from the formatting things I talked to you about. I think another thing you might want to do is consider putting that opt-in right underneath your blog post in some way, because as a flow, they're going to read this blog post and they're going to get to the end of it, and then they're going to be thinking, now what? So you want to give them some type of a call to action there and have them do something at the end, aside from commenting. I mean, it's great when they comment, but realize it's more important to get them on your email list than it is to get them to comment on your site. Um, okay, so we're going to go ahead and leave it there, Russ. If you have any questions for me, feel free to shoot me an email. Talk to you guys soon.